Hi everyone, this is Jeantier Dusenge, a medical office manager at medical offices of doctors, finger, hand and foot. As you know, we have gathered here for a local today seminar on improving healthcare through high quality management. Basing on my experience as a manager, I have chosen to deliver a presentation and facilitate a workshop for new and aspiring managers so that this will help new managers to know what they should do in order to help deliver the best quality in healthcare. I will be talking about two main points. The first point is all about the five major functions of a good manager, and the second one is the three styles of management. Now, starting from five functions of a good manager. As a manager, you need to do planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling. Now, let's explain what is planning. So, planning it's all about being able to decide what needs to be done in the future and be able to make plans of how the things will be done. That's what you call planning. For example, you can decide to hire a new staff after realizing a gap in the organization at the hospital or just at the healthcare facility. Now you can decide to hire someone new basing on what you are remarking there. Talking about organizing, we talk about organizing when you, as a manager, you are able to define and group the activities of the whole process and establishing authority and relationship among them. For example, you were a manager and you have a lot of staff at work. So your responsibility as someone to organize is to attribute those tools and equipment to the staff in charge. For example, you can give the materials and the tools to cleaners of the hospital, and yes, every staff has what it takes to be able to perform his duties. Now let's talk about staffing. Staffing is a function related to job analysis, recruitment, and hiring of people with necessary skills for appropriate jobs. It's like providing or facilitating ongoing training if necessary to keep the skills current. For example, we have got a dentist which is hired to treat patients who suffer from teeth disease. This is what you call staffing. Now let's talk about leading. Leading is determining what needs to be done in a situation and getting people to do that. So when you can determine what to be done and when you can have people to do that, now you are able to do what we call leading. For example, you are human resource and you know we have hired new staff here, so your responsibility is to give instructions and rules to new hired people so that they know how the company works, how things go like in the organization. This is what you call leading. Another The last function of management is controlling. To control or to monitor. Controlling or monitoring, it's all about checking the current outcomes against forecast plans and making adjustments when necessary so that you achieve the organization's goals. For example, you are reviewing the financial statement for the past 6 months of a healthcare facility or an organization or a company. So here you are doing what we call controlling. Now let's talk about the three styles of management. In management, we have three styles. The first one is directing, the second delegating, and the third one is discussing. As let's start with the directing style. In directing style, you tell the employees what to do, how to do it, and when to have it completed by. I need to give you a scenario which will help you understand the directing style. Like last 2 months, I went for a blood test at the hospital, and the lab technician told me to roll up my sleeve and extend my arm. So I was shown how to squeeze my hand during the sampling, and when to do it. So after the blood was drawn, I received specific instructions about holding cotton swab where they took the blood from. In those styles, there are strengths and weaknesses. Of course, let me tell you the strength of directing style. As a strength, the manager is in full control all the time, so he knows what's going to be done, when the deliverables are going to be given, and he knows everything. Also, the manager recognizes the employees who accomplish their tasks effectively. It means he can also recognize those who didn't do what they should have done. As weakness, employees get very little opportunities for learning. Also, the employees' ideas are not respected. It's like they just do what they are told to do. They cannot think about that. They just are like machines, if I can say. Okay, now let's talk about the delegating styles. In delegating, it's like you use the you direct or discuss what needs to be accomplished and when it must be completed. However, to do the like how to do that is, it's all about the employees or just the workers. It's like you tell them what you want and when you want that, but like they will personally find a way to do that. It's like you give them an opportunity to go and learn and give you what you want to have. As a scenario, I used to be a teacher in the past, and I told my students to write 3 to 5 pages. They were talking about alcoholism and how we can deal with an alcoholic relative and what the negative impacts of alcoholism. So I never told my students how to have this summary or where do they find the resources that can help them. Instead, I gave them an assignment and I told them I needed the assignment in 5 days. So my students did researches and they approached the other people to learn more from them, but I never told them like where to find the resources or where to find the content of my assignment. As a strength and weaknesses of delegating, style helps employees to improve time management. Delegation enables you to focus on more important tasks or tasks for which you are better suited. It increases it increases in time. It's like it reduces the pressure and stress here, because you know there is a group of people which is doing something. You are not bothered. It's like you know something is going to be done by people and you are not stressed. Also, as weakness, there are non-delegable duties. It's not everything that you can delegate, so you need to know what to delegate and what to do by yourself. Also, sometimes it burdens the employees, so giving a lot of tasks to employees may make them feel bad and just reject your organization and go to look for another one. Okay, now the last style is called discussing style. uh, it's like in some situations, managing is more about asking the right questions than telling employees what to do. Using the discussion or style, managers ask focused questions to solicit ideas and opinions. They ask questions like the following: What's our goals? What's the problem and what are our options, what's our plan, how should we proceed. It's like they discuss and come up with the right thing to do. So as a scenario, as a teacher, I wanted to have our classroom cleaned by our students, and I and we used the classroom like we were two groups. So I asked my students, why can't we clean our classroom? Because the other group used to clean the classroom, and they usually cleaned the classroom while we wanted to enter the classroom, so this made us late. So I suggested to my students, what do you think if we also start cleaning the classroom by our own, on our own, when we are done with the class? So every student contributed until we took a decision together. As a strength, the communication occurs between both the manager and the employee and the employees, because they share questions and answers with the employer. So the employees are involved in decision making, and also employees who effectively accomplish their tasks are recognized. As weakness, the manager is not responsible to make decisions on his own. It means he can be monitored by other people, and he can be influenced by other people here. As conclusion, I have talked a lot about management styles, so it's up to everyone to be able to discover what's needed in a given situation. You cannot adapt to one style of management. Instead, you need to choose like when to use this style. Also, you need to be able to use all the five functions of a good manager. So I hope this was helpful, and thank you for attending this seminar.